right, this is Dr. Will Horton, and we're going to be talking about the magic of self-image. Again, this is some of it got me started. I reviewed a book I had a long time ago called The Magic of Self-Image Psychology, or that was in the title, but it was by Maxwell, man who invented psycho-cybernetics, and came up with those brilliant things that we now know is true, such as your mind doesn't know the difference between a real or a vividly imagined event. And so what I want you to realize is today we're going to be talking about some things, and we're going to have some fun with this. Now, on my Zoom, if you want to jump on, the Zoom was listed earlier. I'm going to have a PowerPoint so people can see that, and this will be talking about what we're talking about here. So here we go. So the magic of self-image psychology. And, for my friend that says it takes me too long to get started, sometimes it takes a little while. So why do I want to do this? Well, most of us dream of a better life, and it's not your fault. No one tells you how to set up your self-image. Most of it's set by default. That's what we'll talk about today, and it's only going to be about 30 minutes, including the technique at the end. We might go over a little bit. But there is a conspiracy to keep you unhappy, because when you're unhappy, you buy things to try to make yourself happy, whether it's clothes, food, booze, sex, gambling, whatever it is. There's money in it, and if you're happy, then you don't spend that kind of money. Now, I, too, am like you, and so let's defeat those powers that be that hold us back. Now, you will rise or fall to your self-image. That's it. You will not outperform whatever your self-image is, right? And it's the metaphor. One thing we'll talk about later is the metaphor of income average. If I think it was Zig Ziglar said it first, I think, about if I find the 5 people you hang out with the most and we kind of know what their income is, you're in the average if you average their income. It's just what happens. But I'd also say, and we'll talk again, about same with your level of health, your level of physical fitness, even your relationships, not just your finances, but every aspect. You set your self-image by the people you're around. Now, because one of the things now, I've been studying neuroplasticity for a while now, and what we're finding with the aspect of neuroplasticity, neurobiology, is it explains a lot of things in our brain, and how to really make changes. We have to use how our brain actually changes, right? And so your self-image covers every part of your brain, your visual, your auditory, and your cortexes and everything else. It looks like my phone may go off, so I'll just continue this on my Zoom. So if you want to see this, please jump over to Zoom. It's going to be great, and we're going to have some fun. Sorry. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. I had to turn off the Facebook Live. So your self-image covers every aspect of your brain. So, what we want to do is have some fun with this. And again, here's a picture of your brain. You just have to realize where things are, like, the visual association area, somatic sensory area, all these things. And we're going to talk about this because when we redo your self-image, it's very important that we hit every part of your brain. But who's driving? Who sets your self-image? We default, as I said earlier, to the people you hang out with. And the metaphor of income average is true. If really, in shape people hang out with in shape people. Rich people hang out with rich people. Happy people hang out with happy people. And a lot of this, everyone here, I think, knows me. If not, you'll know soon that, I've been in the addiction recovery field for over 35 years. And that's one of the things we say. You have to change playmates and playpens. If you're hanging around with people that are drinking and drugging and you're going to be always the designated driver, well, in my 35 years, I've never really seen it work. Now, I'll probably get a couple emails. Yeah, well, I personally haven't seen it work long term, right? So if you want to make these changes, you have to realize it's in your self-image. And again, your self-image by default is set by people around us. Now, again, your self-image sets your landscape. I love that term, the landscape. And because of that, you will ignore evidence to the contrary of your self-image. If something really great happens, you'll go, that's not like me. I usually tell the story. I had a friend who was doing some really great things, but he was kind of he didn't have good self-image. And someone pointed out all the great things. He actually went, yeah, I know, but that's not like me. Usually if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. This is, he didn't say an anomaly, but he just said it's not like me. As opposed to if you have a really booming self-image and you're a winner, something sets you back, you'll go, that's not like me, the opposite way. But what happens, you search for evidence. So if you have a negative one, if someone's frowning, if you're giving a speech, you see it as they all hate me, this is a bust. It becomes me. If you're a salesman and you lose a sale, then it's who you are, not just something that happened. So again, what stops you? You dream of a better life. It's not your fault. But again, no one tells us how to set a self-image. It's not taught to us. And you got to remember, it's only been in the last few hundred years that we even had mirrors so you could actually see what you look like. Now we have video and everything else, but that's relatively new in the scope of the human experience, that we could actually see what we look like. So our brains had to set by what we see other people, and we have a tendency to look like other people. I mean, the old joke of, couples have been together forever, they start looking like each other. And again, let's defeat those powers that be that want to keep you stuck. So what we're going to do is a powerful metaphor. We're going to use a powerful metaphor, like a hurricane. I did the hurricane technique. I have a version called the tornado technique, right? There's a version of it called the earthquake technique. And we're going to do a special one today. And each resets the entire landscape, right? Each resets the landscape, right? So when it's over, a hurricane, an earthquake, or the one we're going to do today, like even a volcano, it changes the landscape. It totally does, right? So what if we change the landscape of our minds and therefore our bodies, right? We'll do this technique after our word from our sponsor, right? And I always do a pitch because, hey, daddy's got to eat. The new NLP Life Coach is based in neuroplasticity. That's what it's all about. It's a several-week course to redo any area of your life that is troubling you, or maybe a little bit of all of them. If you change one area, as Virginia Satir says, the entire system has to change. If you get in great physical shape, other things will start to change. Your relationship gets better, maybe you get in better physical shape. It's a continuum, right? And so I think it's going to be an 8-week course currently. It may be a little longer. It'll be live and recorded for your convenience. The regular live class will be once a week, again, recorded, so you can review and watch it on your own. Plus, there's going to be bonus material based on neuroplasticity, which is one longer session and maybe some things to, hey, do this, hey, do that, hey, watch this. And again, if you want to sign up for this, it's regularly $9.95. Right now it's $4.95. And if you've already done one of my life coaching courses, and I've done the regular life coaching course a couple of times, did one for just specifically on weight loss, and then I did one for prosperity. This will be another broad-based one. If you've already taken one of my last ones, let me know. Such a deal I have for you, and it's at eliteperformancenlp.com. So your new self-image has to bypass all of the conscious factors. It has to become you, and therefore you become it. When you look at a winner, they have that self-image. It's just what they do. A couple of times I've talked about. Remember, a couple of years ago there was a Super Bowl where the Patriots were in the Super Bowl with the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons got up by 25, and everybody's like, oh, the game's over. But again, if you were watching it, when you looked at the Patriots sideline, they weren't projecting the image of a defeated team, right? Because those self-images, this is what we do. We are winners. Of course, they came all the way back, and they ended up winning, right? And again, you kind of saw it flip even on the other team as the Patriots were coming back. Trust me, I'm not a big Patriot fan. As the Patriots were coming back, you saw it begin to flip because the other team didn't have the self-image of a, hey, we're just a Super Bowl champ team. That's what we do. Tom Brady, all those guys, you know, it becomes who they are. For this to happen, it has to go to your reptilian brain, right? It usually starts in the left frontal cortex, goes to the right, goes to the back to the visual cortex, the auditory, and then it goes all the way down into your reptilian brain so you can begin to make the changes that you need and want. And really, it has to get to your amygdala and your basal ganglia. That's these two parts of your brain. Here is your amygdala. That's where you set your emotions, because then your emotions become a defense mechanism for your self-image, right? So if something's going wrong, you start to get mad. This is not like me. This does not happen to me. You know, I don't lose sales. I don't drink too much. I don't gain weight. You know, if that's your self-image, you know, your emotions will help drive you. And then it eventually gets down to your basal ganglia, where all your habits and almost pre-recorded methodologies in your brain, the things that you do without thinking, begin to happen. We have to get this down to you. Now, how do things get there? Well, we can use meditation, we can use hypnosis, we can use relaxation, and of course, repetition will help get it down there and keep it there. And again, this is why, you know, unless you have that self-image where you're picturing yourself the way you want to be constantly, you're never going to get there. It's not going to sink in. And again, if you're hanging out with people that have a certain mindset and have a certain look, you're going to develop that mindset and look. It's just what happens, right? So what we need to do is get an image to represent the new you. You know, I picked one for me. And everybody knows I like exercise, so this guy's in really good shape. But you know, it's not just the physical. When I see this picture, and I actually just got the picture on my phone, I look at it at night before I go to sleep, and maybe once or twice during the day. And the person's a little bit older than I am now, and they're in the physical shape I want. And then I transpose the mental, emotional, financial, every aspect also on that picture. So kind of my mind, I see this guy who's in great shape. And, you know, he's driving the kind of sports car I want. You know, he's mentally sharp. He's doing the things that I want to do, you know, maybe in a movie or a TV show. He's emotionally secure. He's financially set. Every aspect. That's what that picture represents. It's not just the physical, right? But our brain will respond to that. That this can't be overstated, right? So you get that mental image that represents, and you have to consciously do this. So you're looking at whatever this picture is, you know, and I'm going to share mine with the group when I start the life coaching one. And part of our experiment is you find this image and you're going to look at it every night before you go to sleep, and maybe once a day, right? And again, you transpose not just the physical, that's what you're looking at. Maybe the picture is the person doing something mentally or something, you know, emotionally, you know, loving the family, things like that. But it has to cover every aspect. So you get your image. And the easiest is to pick a model who's close, you know, and then you can add the other traits. And when we do the technique, you imagine, see, hear, feel, taste, smell, and time, right, into every area of your brain. We used to say we have 5 senses. Now they think there's 7. Visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, gustatory, taste, also the sense of spatial awareness, and the sense of time, okay? Because when you lose either one of these senses, you lose track of a lot, right? So time, and I didn't put the, you know, how you make sense of your sensory awareness in space, right? And once we do the technique, then we're going to imagine a wall of defense against anything that does not align with your new self-image. So here we go. Now, the metaphor I'm going to use today is a meteor. You know, the last great meteor strike, at least current scientific knowledge, if you're one that believes in science, the current scientific knowledge is, you know, when a meteor hit, they think it was around the Yucatan Peninsula. Anyway, it blew so much stuff up in the air, then it caused earthquakes all over the country or all over the world, and volcanoes. And between what the meteor blew out into space and then the volcanoes, there was so much dust in the atmosphere, it started the ice age, which killed off the dinosaurs, which allowed us little primates and other life forms to grow, flourish, and take over, right? So to me, it's a strong metaphor, and it's a boom, you know, it's a boom. When that thing hits, it hits hard. right? And so your meteor is your new self-image, right? And it's out there in space and it's hurtling toward you, right? And when it hits, it's going to change your entire landscape of who you are. You know, it's going to drill right down into that, subcortex, down to the amygdala, the basal ganglia, go all the way down there, all the way down to your cerebellum, and change everything about you, right? So I want you to just for now get an image of the new you, right? And again, I pick an image of someone, and I see their physical thing. It's right over there. Part of it I can look at it when I glance over here. It's in the middle of my what do you call those? Vision board, right? So I'm looking at it. I see that. So that, and it also, not just that, it represents the lifestyle I want, driving that kind of car, having the kind of motorhome I want. Oh, there's my place in New York City. There's all kinds of money on there. There's my books. There's other things, right? There's the horses. Some of it's come true. We now have 2 horses. So anyway, that's the image, and it represents everything. So now take a deep breath and close your eyes. And what I want you to do is get in touch with why you want a new self-image. What's been holding you back, right? And I want you to get this self-image and hold it in one hand. And as you're looking at this new self-image, and it's going to represent not just the physical, maybe lose weight or get in shape or whatever it is, but the kind of lifestyle you want, the emotions you want, the brain power you want, every aspect, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, every aspect that's right there in that self-image, so you see it. And you know why you want all this. You deserve it. You're a unique, worthwhile human being. You were put here to enjoy life. So you're seeing that, and it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. Now, I'd like you to look at the other hand and notice that, something's been holding you back. And what I'd like you to do is now take this new self-image and kind of let it drift out into space. Just kind of push it out into space. And the self-image is out there gathering power from the universe, the sun, all the stars and the stuff in the universe. It's drawing power from it. The self-image is growing powerful as it goes out to space and gathers that momentum. And now this old self-image, I want you to look at it. And maybe you have a specific problem. Maybe it's eating, maybe it's drinking, maybe it's some other behavior that's holding you back. And what I want you to do is see that problem in this self-image, and it begins to spin. Maybe it's spinning one way, maybe it's spinning another way, right? But whichever way it spins, now spin it faster and faster and faster. And as it spins, it pulls out every residual. In fact, you reach in, if you want, mentally, and pull out every aspect of those things that are holding you back, the negative self-image. And maybe, just maybe, it goes inside your head and rips out all the negative programming you got from your childhood, from your parents, from the school systems, from our society. All that gets ripped out, just ripped out, and it goes right into that old self-image, because that's what it was. And maybe if you happen to hang out with people that you may love, but unfortunately they don't have what you want, so they're in there, and this is spinning faster and faster. And the faster it spins, it's kind of like how you see those hurricanes. It's spinning, but it's pulling out all the residual, and it's actually pulling out all of the negativity from your very DNA, So it's pulling it out, pulling it out, pulling it out. And now you just imagine it pushing away a little bit, and it's pulling out all of it. Now what I want you to do is take a nice deep breath. And you see that image that drifted out into space. It's gathered the momentum of the universe. God himself has sent this meteor to you, this new self-image. And in a moment, it's beginning to come closer and closer. If you've seen the movies where a meteor is coming toward the earth, you see the fire and the power and that. Whoosh, it's coming. And it's going to burst. Boom, bury right in. Boom, it buries right in. Goes very, very deep into your mind, body, and spirit. Goes right down to your amygdala, right down to your basal ganglia. It goes to the back of your brain, settles in. So you see this new you. You hear this new you. You feel this new you. You smell and taste it. It is you. You are it. And instantly it sets up a barrier, almost like an energetic barrier goes up. So anything that doesn't support this new self-image, boom, will be rejected away. You know how most things bounce off our atmosphere because it can't get through. But this sets up a barrier so strong, anything that doesn't support your self-image will bounce away. So you bring it inside your mind, body, and spirit, and now something magical happens. Something magical happens. It goes down to your very DNA. Somewhere in your DNA, when you see that double helix, somewhere in that is this new you, looking the way you want to look, acting the way you want to act, doing the things you want to do, see, hear, feel, smell, taste, touch, every aspect, it's there. Right? And now ripples through the entire universe of you, your entire world of you, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially. It's just going to ripple through the same way you'd see when a meteor would hit the earth. It changes the landscape. Mountains fall, continents shift, everything happens. You notice this big shift now, boom. And it becomes so powerful, goes into your mind, your body, and your spirit. Your mind, your body, and your spirit. Good, good. Now, take a deep breath and open your eyes. Just open your eyes, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. There you go. Good, very good. Now what I want you to do is just come on back. And this was kind of, it's going to be it's a small part of the new life coach based in neuroplasticity, right? And again, it's a several-week course to redo your life and whatever's troubling you in your life. And again, it'll be live and recorded. The regular class is once a week. I'm currently looking at Wednesdays at noon, kind of like I did today, for you to review. It'll be recorded so you can review it later, go over it again, break it down in case you want to use some of this stuff. And there's going to be bonus material based on neuroplasticity. Some of the neuroplasticity says you do a bigger class once or twice a week, and then you do small increments during the week over and over again, because practice makes perfect, right? It settles it into your thing. You don't rehearse a play once, you don't rehearse something once, a football team doesn't run a play once, it's over and over again. And again, the regular price is $9.95. Right now it's $4.95. And if you've taken one of my other life coaching courses, there's a special, so just get in touch with me for you. So I look forward to seeing you as we trudge the road to happy destiny. And I put this out, and I did it today. This was recorded live at Wednesday on October 17th at noon, the day before my Earth birthday. And I'm going to put this in the e-zine, so you'll be getting it later today. Tomorrow's my Earth birthday. It's one reason I like to do this. I'm giving you a gift on my birthday. So I hope you decide to join me at Elite Performance NLP. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be, 8 big courses with some little boom, boom, do this, do this. It's going to be so much fun. And we're going to have a lot of fun. And so I hope you decide to join me. And everyone, I will see you as we trudge the road to happy destiny.